Today on Windy City Weekend, Chicago's favorite urban historian, Sherman Dilla Thomas, joins us in studio. Plus, a savory and sweet recipe for pulled pork tacos. And Rachel Zegler is the fairest of them all in the new Snow White. Film critic Richard Roper will let us know if it's a spend or save. Now, here's your host, Val Warner, and guest co-host, Trey Ward.
Yes, look who's here. Welcome to Windy City Weekend. Ryan's off today, so filling in is ABC7 reporter Trey Ward.
Yes.
This is your first time.
My first time, but it feels like my fifth, sixth. I'm always walking through here. I've watched you for years. It feels
so
good.
Now you're really making me feel old.
No.
Or are you going to say, oh, I watched you when I was getting ready for class and going into junior high? Is that what you're about to say?
In college.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, so Trey, for those who may not know you,
yes.
I know you, the ABC family knows you, and congratulations on the promotion to a permanent full-time reporter here at the station.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Trey Ward. You're from Chicago.
I'm from Chicago, born and raised. I'm from the West Side, North Austin, West Side, yes. I went to Proviso East in Maywood, and I went to Northern Illinois University where I watched
NIU.
Yes. Okay. I'm homegrown. And really getting the opportunity to really get out of my bubble. You know, I grew up on the West Side. I lived a little bit on the South Side too.
Yeah.
But being here gives me the opportunity to go beyond Chicago and learn so much about this city that I grew up in and thought I knew so much about. And you're learning so much every single day.
Did you ever dream that you would actually be working in the same city that you grew up in, watching Channel 7 on the news?
I grew up watching ABC7.
Yeah.
Seriously. And no, you know, my mom, when I graduated, sent me a text and she said, apply here. I'm 22 years old. And she
was here ABC7?
ABC7. No. She's like, yeah, send them your reporter reel. I'm like, Mom, that's not how it works. you got to struggle a little bit. You got to work for it. And I think at the 3 months before the end of my last contract in Baltimore, it came to me. We was going through the pandemic. I missed my family. I got tired of seeing them being raised on Facebook. I wanted to touch them. I wanted to hug them. And I have 14 uncles and aunts.
You all here in Chicago watching you right now?
You
haven't even given them a shout out?
Shout out to the aunties. Yes. I grew up watching them, and I'm sure they're watching right now because they love you. My sister, Secret, your biggest fan.
You told me that before, Trey, when we've done the Bud Billiken before. So, hey, Trey's sister and family, you guys have to be so, we're proud of him, and I know your family is proud of it because it's a treat to actually watch your family member on TV doing what they dreamed of. And I love that your mother had big dreams for you right out of college to tell you, say, baby, send your tape straight to ABC7. But you knew better because Lolo Zoe is in Fort Myers, baby.
Oh, she's coming, though. She's coming home.
She's coming home.
I see it.
One day, but that struggle, you know, it's the business. We have to pay our dues and learn the business and learn how to be a good journalist.
Definitely.
And then now look at you in the entertainment world because Trey and I have something in common.
We sure do.
Dancing with Chicago Celebrities is a huge fundraiser that raises money for breast cancer awareness through the Arthur Murray Dance Studio. And it just gets local celebrities from all the television stations to compete like Dancing with the Stars, but they do it to raise money. But there is a trophy every year.
And what? We got that trophy.
No, you didn't dig in the crates. That's auntie.
Yes,
that was your unofficial auntie at that point.
Hitting it too. Look at that.
That was a little I am every woman. Somebody else hitting it.
Oh, I can now fit that sweater. I couldn't fit it then. We won, though.
We both won. So that's where I was getting to. Trey and I are both able to say that we won the coveted trophy of dancing. I mean, that's not an easy feat.
It's serious. You actually have to go to practice every other week. How was it for you, though?
It was tough for me because, shout out to my partner, Jimmy Mulligan. I practiced probably 2 to 3 times. I was at the other station when I won that trophy. But there were times where Jimmy was like, Val, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever the beat was, I was not getting it. So, you know, don't think just because you're black, you got all the rhythm in the world. It's a different kind of dancing.
It sure is.
So my nerves were high. What about you? Were you nervous?
You know, I used to dance in college.
Oh, so you had an advantage.
I was like, I want that trophy. I can't go home without that trophy and say that I'm a dancer. Summer Griffin, she knew. We connected. We danced off of Beyonce Cuff It immediately. We knew we wanted to do that. We linked.
So you knew you nailed it when you got out there. You were ready, huh?
I was so nervous. I seriously, I drank like 5 cups of water, like behind stage, not knowing what to do. And but when that beat drops, it drops.
You kind of forget that all eyes are on you and everything. Yeah, you were hitting it.
Oh, yes. I still remember that choreography too.
Oh my goodness. Well, can I say this to you? You and I both have lost a few LBSs since we competed. Because Trey, you've lost, what, 60 pounds since this?
60 pounds in 1 year, 40 within the first 5 months.
Look at this.
Look at the before and after. That, you can see how sad I was in that Bulls shirt. And then here we go right there.
I watched your fitness journey, and I watched you put in that work, and I was so inspired by you because, you know, if you want to do the quick fix, that's fine. But I have been in this fitness game a long time. I'm talking about since, I've been working out since college. The best way to do it is to just be consistent and to find something that works for you that's not drastic. Because I've yo-yoed. I've done the drastic stuff, I've done the slow stuff, but I think consistency, and that's what you did over that year, didn't you?
Definitely, and really it's beyond just fitness. It's a mental health thing. At first I didn't understand that because I'm like, how could you get help with your mental health by lifting metal? How does that happen, right? But it truly does. Shout out to my trainer, Rob. He puts me to work. We go through this like therapeutic moment when we go there. I feel like all love when I go to the gym. And I feel completed. It makes you feel like you've accomplished something, right?
Totally agree.
Oh, and we got some transformation too, you know? Yes.
Who is that? Who is that?
You're beating me. Look at those guns.
Let me tell you something, Trey. I was so inspired by this picture, and I'm the picture. So my photographer, shout out to Naja, she said, well, just flex for me one. This is not the inspiration pose I sent to her. She said, well, just flex and turn around and look. And this, after she took it, she turned the camera, she showed it to me. I said, wait a minute, that's me? She said, this is what you look like from the back. This is not airbrushed. This is not Photoshop. This is not touched up. This is hard work.
Naturally snatched.
Okay.
Naturally snatched. Yes. And, you know, you've leveled up too with that body and everything. I love to see it. Level 51, right?
Level 51. But like you said, Trey, it is so good for the mind, the soul, and the heart, the endorphins that you get from working out. I mean, we want to just inspire everybody. So hopefully that did. But before we take this quick break, we're already done with the first block. I just want to share that the Erica's Belle of the Ball prom send-off is back, and the submission deadline is fastly approaching. Erica, as you all may remember, was a regular contributor to this show and a near and dear friend. Before her untimely passing in 2021, she started Belle of the Ball prom send-off to provide one high school young lady with a free prom send-off. I'm talking about complete with everything to make an amazing prom experience. Hair, makeup, dress, transportation, and so much more. Well, Shy Gives Back, which Erica was a founding member of that organization, is carrying out her legacy by continuing this tradition. So if you know of a deserving young lady, the submission deadline is March 31st. That's a weekend or some days. You can head to our website, abc7chicago.com. We'll have all the information on there, and make sure you apply. I'm a part of this. It's going to be huge. We're going to make one young lady's night magical.
Yes, I love seeing the community giving back.
I do too.
It's such a great thing to be in there, right?
All right, coming up, urban historian Sherman Dilla Thomas is in studio to tell us about his new role with the DuSable Black History Museum. And then later, Roper is going to review movies. Robert De Niro graces the big screen in the Alto Nights. Richard Roper will let us know if it's a spend or a save.
Welcome back. Even though Black History Month was last month, our next guest proves that it's important to celebrate and learn about Black history all year long. We want to welcome to the show Sherman Dilla Thomas. Welcome to Windy City Weekend. How's it going, man?
Real good, Trey. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Val, good to see you.
Always good to see you, Dilla. So give us an update on what's new with this latest show. I love the name.
Yeah, right on. You don't know Shy. Thank you very much.
You don't know Shy.
Really honored to be doing the show. You know, us Chicagoans know that people from outside of Chicago are always talking junk about Chicago, or they act like they know everything about Chicago. And so the show is really designed to show you that you don't know the Shy. We take guests and we take them to their neighborhoods and we ask them questions about their neighborhoods. We pick a small business to lift up. It's a great time.
Definitely. Now, last November, you opened up about being laid off from your last job. Why did you want to share that with the Chicago area?
Well, because one, I really enjoy working for the light company, but two, sometimes when things go the way you don't want them to go, oftentimes those companies take away your ability to tell your own story. And so I wanted to show myself and others, my kids, that the one thing you're supposed to always own is your own story. And I want to share that, but I'm not the only person in Chicago that's been laid off before. I'm not the only person in Chicago that felt they didn't deserve to be laid off, but I wanted to set an example that you can move forward, and you can continue to strive to do great things in this city, even after, you know, a terrible situation like that.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds so cliche to say when one door closes, another one opens, but there's a lot of truth to that, and it's the door that you want to open.
Yeah, absolutely.
It may have needed to open, but couldn't because you were walking through that other door. So that's definitely one way to look at it. Yeah. So how has being at the DuSable Museum allowed you to more freely be yourself?
Yeah, I'm the very proud brand ambassador and chief of social media for the DuSable Museum of Black History. And it's really like a dream job. I spend a lot of my time at the DuSable anyway. When I do my weekend tours, that's where we leave from. But the DuSable has the distinction of being America's oldest private black museum in this country. And it's full of history. We have the second largest black history collection, only second to the National Black Museum in Washington, D.C. And those stories aren't just like black Chicago stories, they're American stories. And so I'm very proud to be telling those stories and echoing out the mission of the museum.
Yeah, and that mission involves history. You're our favorite historian. What's your favorite piece of history here in Chicago?
That's such a tough one, man. It spans the gambit, right? I love Chicago as the home. A lady by the name of Ada Kipling was the first woman ever to graduate law school. She did it here in Chicago, right? Love the fact that Carol Moseley Braun is the first ever black woman to be a U.S. senator, you know, coming right from Chicago. I love the fact that President Barack was lucky enough to land a lady by the name of Michelle, because without her, he wouldn't have become the first black man to be a United States president. But it's so many things, right? You know, my grandma used to watch us, and we'd have to watch her soaps. Soap operas come from Chicago, right? Spalding invented the catcher's mitt here in Chicago. You know, the Harlem Globetrotters, they ain't from Harlem, they from the south side of Chicago. They graduated from Wendell Phillips, they're from Chicago. So trying to pick my favorite is very difficult because it's so much.
There is so much. I learned something from you when we did our neighborhood walk, and you took me around as a story in Bronxville. And the beauty supply that I go to on a regular basis, I'm talking about for all my hair that I buy.
Say that.
There is history in Urban Boutique. Remember, there's the stage that they used to perform, not the mural on the outside, but even the stage in the inside.
Yeah, absolutely. It used to be called the Sunset Cafe, and people like Lou Armstrong and Count Basie and Jelly Roll Morton, they perform where you get your
there.
Right where you get your hair. That used to be the stage. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so what's next for Dilla?
Well, I want to continue pumping You Don't Know Shy, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're going to be telling all kind of Chicago stories. We got Ernie Wong coming up next. We just wrapped with Father Michael Flager. My boy Tony Baker's flying in town to do the show, so we're really about lifting up Chicago. And then I want to spread the news about the DuSable, right? I want to get 15,000 new Chicagoans to come through that door this year. And so, and then lastly, I'm taking my crumb snatchers to Disneyland on Monday, so pray for me in my pockets.
I will pray for you in your pockets as we get paid from the mouse.
Come on.
Here at Disney. So,
Let
me see if I can find you a pass. All right, Dilla, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. How do you, I know we're out of time, I'll ask you in the break, but I'm like, how do you store all of those history facts in your brain?
Under that hat,
Ignoring the stuff that my wife tells me, and then I'm just playing.
Retaining everything else. You can find his show, You Don't Know Shy, on YouTube. Coming up, we've got a delicious recipe for pulled pork tacos.
Yes, plus the new Snow White is out today. Richard Roper will let us know if it's a spend or save.
This segment was produced with and sponsored by Alessi.
Hey, welcome back. While you're watching college basketball, you might get a craving for a savory and sweet meal.
So we headed to Tony's Fresh Market in Melrose Park to show you a special recipe for pulled pork tacos.
Chef Dino here. I'm at the Melrose Park store. And I'm gonna make you some decadent pulled pork tacos using Alessi products and our fresh tortilla. We're gonna start with how we season the pork, and I'm gonna season with Alessi tomato paste, Alessi pureed garlic, coarse sea salt, some black pepper. You wanna add a can of the whole peeled tomatoes, about a half a bottle of balsamic vinegar. You're gonna put this in your crock pot that we're gonna slow roast for about 10 hours. I'm gonna put together the coleslaw, which is the topper for our tacos. Some already shredded cabbage from the store, fresh basil, raspberry vinaigrette, and a little extra virgin olive oil in the bottom of the pan. We have some julienne onions here, sweet banana pepper rings, and we're gonna cook this. So after you've slow cooked for around 10 hours in the magic of television, we have our nice pork, and we've broken it down and taken out the bones. So we're gonna take some pork, and we're gonna place this right on top of these peppers and onions, get it all nice and hot. I've got some nice fresh-made tortillas. You want to heat these up in the pan. We're going to add a little pesto. It's another layer of flavor. Now we're going to take our hot taco mix here. Make sure we get a little onion, a little pepper. We're going to add our raspberry balsamic vinaigrette coleslaw. So this is my favorite part. Some nice reduced balsamic vinegar for a nice sweet finish. And there you have it, decadent pulled pork tacos. Some perfect elite eats while you're watching that big game in March. We're looking for great weather in Chicago and enjoying our food with our friends and family.
Now I want pulled pork tacos.
Come on, we might have to break our diets for that.
Cheat day!
Come on, it's Sunday. Well, you can find this full recipe on our website, abc7chicago.com.
All right, now it's time to talk movies with our favorite film critic, Richard Roper. Rich, hello.
So
good to have
see you guys. As always, Trey, great to see you.
Thank you, man.
All right, and we've got some pretty big releases this week, so let's get to it. Up first is the fairest of them all. Here's a clip from Disney's latest adaptation of Snow White.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
Famed is thy beauty, majesty. But a lovely maiden I now behold.
I look at you, and I just want to be the fairest of them all.
The queen is evil. You must flee into the woods.
Oh, it looks good. Are we spending or saving?
It's a big spend. You can tell it's a great looking film. The production values and everything. You see Gal Gadot as the evil queen and Rachel Zegler as Snow White, and you can tell they're staying true to the original costumes and relationships. It is updated because the original's from 1937, so she's not so much a damsel in distress as a princess who takes control of her life.
Yeah.
Really? So there's some controversy, though, surrounding Rachel Zegler playing
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of people who they got so upset when Halle Bailey was the Little Mermaid, and now because the Latina actress is playing Snow White. And I would say to those people, you know, if your childhood memories are being fractured because a fish human doesn't look like you want her to look, or a fairy tale princess, I don't believe you. And you can still watch the originals if you want. But I think it's great. Disney has tapped into this live action catalog where they take the classic animated films, and now we do live action. And for younger audiences, you kind of need the CGI. You kind of needed the if they saw the 37 film, which is a classic, that's like they're looking at Noah's Ark.
Right.
You know, it's just out, it's dated, so I think it's great.
And she can sing from the sound.
I was going to say the musical aspect.
Rachel Zegler was in West Side Story when they did a remake of that, so she's got big time. She would have been a star in the 50s, the 70s, or now.
Okay. Is it just for kids, or can adults go see it?
It's a family movie.
Okay.
You know, like all the Disney movies, but there's always a couple of little jokes in there for the grown-ups.
Okay, good.
And she's our OG Disney princess. Now, next up is Jonathan Majors. He's starring in Magazine Dreams as a man who looks after his sick grandfather while trying to make it in the professional world of bodybuilding. Rich, is this a spend or a save?
You know, this is a spend as well, and Jonathan Majors was in a lot of controversies because he got convicted of some very serious offenses, and his career was derailed. So this movie was pushed back. To separate that and just talk about the film, it's a very strong film. It's very similar to like Taxi Driver or Joker, where it's a portrayal of a man unraveling, but it is getting kind of a muted release because Jonathan Majors is still trying to make amends and get on the right track. And we do hope that happens.
Yeah, definitely.
He just married Megan Good, too.
Yeah.
Megan Good, love her.
Yeah. Okay, and last but certainly not least, the Robert De Niro has dual roles in the Alto Knights as real-life rival mobsters in the 1950s. Richard, what are we doing here?
Big spend on this. Robert De Niro, 81, still one of our best actors. And because of the digital technology, you can have him playing rival mobsters. A little bit of prosthetics, a little bit of digital trickery. So if you love those De Niro movies like Goodfellas and Casino from back in the day, it's great that he's not just playing like a cutesy grandpa. It's a real dual role, based, by the way, on all true events. Everything that happened in this movie happened in New York in the mob scene in the 50s and 60s.
How do they stay true to that, though? Because, you know, it's always, especially when you're dealing with history, you got to stay true to it.
You have to kind of, you know, condense some characters into a composite, maybe heighten the dramatic reality. But when you watch this movie, if you look at like the entries about these two mobsters, all of this happened, and some of it's, as we say, bat bleep crazy, but it's still very entertaining.
So are you able to tell that it's Robert De Niro playing the duel?
Yeah, but you buy into it.
You do buy into it.
Because they have very different personalities. But one mobster wants to kind of keep the peace and keep the families, and the other one wants revenge and blood and killing and has got a big temper, all of which really happened. The one guy tried to kill the other guy, and the bullet bounced off his head, basically.
Intense.
So, yeah, but then they really were friends after that. Yeah, big spend on that.
Big spend.
Richard, thank you so much. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Windy City Weekend. Weekend looking good. Nice sunny shot there. Okay, so here we go. 4 matchups remain in our tasty tournament of champions.
Yes, that's right. And our Windy City Bite bracket is now entering its 3rd round, and our favorite sandwich spots have unfortunately been sliced out of the competition in favor of pizza, hot dogs, and burgers, not Italian beef.
Okay, that's interesting. So head to our Windy City Live Facebook and Instagram pages to vote so you can determine which one of these 8 elite eateries will represent Chicago's North Side, West Side, South Side, and downtown neighborhoods in the final matchups of the Windy City Bite bracket.
So what do we have here? We got Pequods.
We got Pequods. We got versus Superdog. Okay. And then we got Paisanos versus Billy Goat Tavern.
Ooh, and Vito and Nick's on the other side. And top-notch beef burgers.
Okay.
I'm getting hungry talking about it.
I know, right? And then that's My Pie Pizza versus Jimmy Red Hot. So, I'm definitely going. I don't know. I like Superdog and I like Pequods. And I like Billy Goat Tavern.
I'm a pizza guy. I'm going to go with pizza.
Okay, so you're going to go with Pequods.
Yes.
And Paisanos. And then I gotta take the other side just because, right?
Yeah.
Trey, this has been so fun having you here for Windy City Weekend. Huge thanks to Trey for co-hosting. Congrats on the full-time position here at ABC 7 years, and there's no place else to go now.
Come on.
This is
back home.
Your home in the 3rd market in the country.
Yes.
#1 station. You made it now.
I feel so grateful for being here, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Oh, good.
It's been a blessing, and truly, just even sitting here. Like I said, we watched you. I'm sitting next to you, Val.
That's crazy,
Dreams
Trey.
do come true.
Oh, you're giving me chills.
Do it. You know you mean a lot to me, Val.
I know. I do feel old, but like not the old-ish, youngish auntie.
We saw that picture. We know you look great. Level up.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week.